You wake up in the morning, you're just like, oh my gosh, still have that weight. What am I going to wear today? So frustrating. Don't even want to step on the scale. Maybe we've thrown the scale away. But when you're on a low carb diet and you step on that scale, it's just information because you're going to get your weight to go down. You're going to actually crack your carb code. Hi, I'm Lori Ballou, functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner, here to help you thrive in menopause. As women over 50, we get adrenal burnout, we get exhausted. Part of that problem is we end up with weight gain. And weight gain is a symptom of being unhealthy. We want to address the whole body metabolism to actually thrive in menopause and to lose the weight. We don't have to put up with that. We get to recreate the health that we want to have. We get to recreate our beautiful body and thrive in menopause. That's what I've done. 61, feeling amazing, thriving in menopause, and I'm down 100 pounds. That's pretty exciting because I'm also starting to gain more muscle. I have gained a little bit of weight, whether or not it's fat or not, it's still muscle gain. And I'm feeling great. It's not necessarily about having no body fat in our body. What it is you want to have fat that is not inflammatory. We want to actually reduce the visceral fat in our body from around our face that makes us feel unattractive. And around our neck and around our chest, we want to get the weight off. And losing weight in menopause means losing it everywhere and losing it naturally. Sustainable weight loss so that we don't gain it back. I've been on all the diets. Diets don't work. We cannot keep weight off on a diet because what is happening is you're in a starvation mode and you're not nourishing your body. You're losing muscle and fat, and you're actually losing bone mass as well. When you're in a starvation mode, your metabolism is going to be slow and it's going to slow down. And the more you lose your muscle, the more you lose your basal metabolic rate because muscle is your basal metabolic rate. That's your metabolism. If you're doing a low calorie starvation diet, what's going to happen? And I've been there, done that. We've all done it as women. You know, we've been on a diet our whole life, and we were told that if we eat low fat, fat free, don't eat any protein and don't eat the fat, we're going to actually lose the weight. But what we do is we actually lose our body mass and damage our metabolism. We don't want that. And that's the problem with Ozempic. Ozempic is a therapeutic process, and it was designed for diabetics who needed to get their insulin levels under control so they can lower it, so they don't have to get on more insulin. They can have less because they control their appetite. That is a huge problem today because that's not a solution. And it sounds like it could be an easy step to take, but you basically lose your appetite and get nauseous and don't have any desire to eat. It becomes a starvation process, a starvation diet where you lose your muscle mass and your bone mass. 50% of that is your bone and muscle. And then when you get to the point where you don't want to do this anymore, you're feeling sick and tired and you've been doing it for a year or two, you just gain all the fat back. But what if you had a better solution? I discovered my weight loss solution when I went on a keto diet. I am the creator of the Holistic Low Carb Diet, and it is a weight loss solution. It's the secret to sustainable weight loss. This is the secret to sustainable weight loss because you get to lose the weight once and for all, and it doesn't ever have to come back. Because what you're going to do and what I'm going to help you do with the low carb method is to actually help you create a low carb lifestyle, so that you actually keep your blood sugar levels low on a regular basis so you do not live in a disease state, because it's not only a weight loss solution, it's also a health solution. I call it my weight loss and diabetes solution because you can actually reduce your risk for diabetes. I had prediabetes and reduced it. My brother had diabetes. He did everything I told him to do and followed my program, and he's no longer diabetic. And he's not on any medication for diabetes. And he's living a really good, healthy, adventurous lifestyle and getting out and staying active. So that is what I want for everybody. And that's what I wanted for myself. And that's what I did. Because back in my 30s and 40s, I was on the low-calorie approach, but I was never healthy. I always had depression. I had asthma, allergies, sinusitis, bronchitis. I was on a breathing machine. I had to take prednisone every season for that sinusitis. And I just didn't want to live like that. And I didn't feel like I was living my best life or living being excited about joy. I didn't have pretty clothes. You know, you wake up in the morning, you're just like, oh my gosh, still have that weight. What am I going to wear today? So frustrating. Don't even want to step on the scale. Maybe we've thrown the scale away. But when you're on a low carb diet and you step on that scale, it's just information. because you're going to get your weight to go down. You're going to actually crack your carb code and drop 20 pounds and reset your metabolism with my Holistic Low Carb Method. And I'm going to help you do that because this is something that can be easy or it can be hard. But what if it could be easier? We're doing it with somebody who can help you do it. When I help you implement the Holistic Low Carb Method, I'm going to actually help you run and drop ship to you a food sensitivity test so that you can find out what foods you're sensitive to that could be causing weight gain. A lot of the times when my clients take out the foods they're sensitive to and then they eat them again, they have pain or inflammation and they notice it right away. A lot of the times, what we're doing is living with low-grade inflammation. Basically, if you're on the SAD American diet, you're living with low-grade inflammation, chronic inflammation, problems happening in your body. That could be corrected with a metabolic reset and correcting your gut health and your hormone health. Losing weight in menopause is actually about actually balancing your hormones, correcting your gut health, discovering what your food sensitivities are, and putting yourself on a low carb diet. When you do that, you're going to get the health that you want and lose the weight that you want to have, and you don't ever have to gain it back. That's the beauty of this. That's the secret of this. Losing the weight and keeping it off permanently is possible. I'm doing this, my clients are doing this, and you can do this too. To lose 100 pounds, 200 pounds, maybe even just 20 or 30, it all comes down to how do we reset your metabolism? And do you know how to do that? You want to start a low carb lifestyle, not a diet. Because when you're on a diet, you're actually looking at this as I'm just going to stop eating this food or these foods for a short period of time. And then when you get to that, you stop doing it and you give yourself a reward, which ends up being sugar and wheat, whatever. And you end up boomeranging back. You lose your willpower because maybe you were just doing willpower. And then all of a sudden you gain all the weight back. And then you have to try again. And it's harder when you have to try it again. That's what happened to my client, Janina, who had lost 60 pounds on the low calorie diet. Lots of exercise. She's a warrior. She was doing all the things. Then the big C hit and she gained it all back because there was stress. When she started working with me, she had to start all over, but this time she learned how to do it correctly. I taught her the Holistic Low Carb Method. She implemented the process. We worked on her mindset. We went through all the processes of what she needed to do to be stronger, to be empowered. And I used my certainty and conviction to help support her and guide her along the way. So she had that support. She lost 58 pounds. This took a little bit longer. It took her a couple of years because we were working through this without the lab testing. So it can take longer without the lab testing, but you can still get me monthly with just a low carb diet lifestyle change without the labs, or you can invest in a 3 or 6 month lab package where you're going to get 3 to 6 labs so that we could find your hidden weight loss blocks. When we find these weight loss blocks, these are healing opportunities that we can correct in your body. So we know what to do, correct, and specifically target so you can get the weight loss that you want to have in menopause. Because menopause can be so tiring. There could be a lot of frustrating symptoms, and you may not have the brain focus that you want to have because you've got fatigue. There could be thyroid dysfunction because by the time we get to 50, believe me, I know it, we're exhausted. We've been running on adrenaline, we've been running and burning out our adrenals. Estrogen is low and we're tired. We've been taking care of everybody but ourselves. Well, now it's time to take care of yourself and thrive. Age beautifully and adventurously in your 50s as a woman in menopause. And you can. I'm doing it. I'm 61. I don't have any symptoms in my body that are a problem. I started tennis recently, so I have a little tennis elbow. I'm trying to strengthen my arm and doing some red light on that. But there's always something to tweak, but we want to look at life as a health hobby. Living life as an adventure, aging beautifully, is something that you can dial in, and that's what I help my clients dial in. I'm so grateful for Mary. She was one of my clients that I worked with last year, and I'm so honored that my pain to purpose and has become my passion where I can help other women dial in their weight loss and get their lives back on track. So she lost 30 pounds in 4 months. She did it really fast because she really needed me. And it just warms my heart to know that she'll tell people, just do everything Lori says. And it's so empowering to know that We can get the help that we need. I wish that somebody had told me in my 30s and my 40s what I needed to do was just to get on a low carb diet so that I could live and thrive. But I didn't know that. I didn't find that out till I was in my 50s. And I had to read and research and really dial this in and dig it out. And I'm fighting obesity, my obesity gene. I am fighting DNA that wants me to be obese. We're living in an environment that's toxic, that's obesogenic, which means it makes us fat. So we have to look at our environment. We have to prioritize sleep. We have to prioritize ourselves and have less stress by actually getting out in nature and grounding and getting light in our eyes. It's so important. That's the other half of weight loss. You see, I could lose 20 pounds pretty easily. We can all do that. But can we keep it off? And so then once you get that 20-pound reset, what are the rest of your hidden healing opportunities? And where are the weight loss blocks? It's got to be digestion. Got to fix the digestion. There's going to be something going on in the GI tract that needs to be fixed because 80% of your immune system is in the gut. And so you need to get that fixed. And the other side of that is your environment and your light environment and your movement and energizing your whole body. If you go to my website, take a look at my framework where it shows you what we're going to do. You're going to get a metabolic and thyroid analysis, and I'm going to find out what's going on in your body. And then we're going to run the food sensitivity test so we can find out what your food sensitivities are. When we find out that information and you stop eating the foods you're sensitive to for 3 to 6 months and reduce the antigen inflammatory load on your body so your gut can get into a better shape. When you get this information and take out those food sensitivities, you're going to be able to hear the noise that you couldn't hear before of what's going on in your body. So you could start reducing more inflammation in your body. So you could start reducing the visceral fat that's making you look and feel unattractive. This is so empowering when we can look in the mirror and just like, oh my gosh, I feel so much better than I've ever felt before. I feel beautiful for the first time in my life because I was obese and overweight and unhappy and had anxiety all the way up to 53. I would lose weight and gain it back. I even did the HCG diet. Sure, it worked for a short time, but it's a fat-free diet that you can absorb your nutrition. It's actually a starvation process. And so your body will let you lose the weight, but it's going to boomerang back to where it was before as soon as the sugar and the carbs come back. Yes, as women over 50 in menopause, we are more insulin resistant and we need to reset our metabolism and we need to lower our blood sugar levels in our body for us to lose the weight. But if we want to lose the weight, if we want to have a beautiful body, if we want to go on those vacations and look and feel amazing, to thrive in menopause, to have 10 to 20 more years of quality living, yes, low carb diet nutrition is what we want to do because it works. You've been on all the diets. I've been on all the diets. We've been stuck in that merry-go-round of weight gain and weight loss, and it doesn't stick. It doesn't stick because you can't lose weight on a diet and keep it off permanently, but you can on low carb lifestyle. You want to look at building your lifestyle, correct your health of your body, correct your metabolism, lower your blood sugar response, fix the fatty liver, fix the fatty pancreas, get pancreatic insufficiency controlled. And then your brain starts working again and you feel good. And when you get that brain energy back on track, that's when you're able to focus on more weight loss. Drop that first 20 to 25, 30 pounds. I help you do that in my 6-month program if you implement the process and keep your carbs low. I've got a client that's right on fire right now, 4 months in, 23 pounds down, feeling better than she's ever felt before. Says, what did she say? She said, she's feeling great. And everything has changed for her. And she's just amazed at all the possibilities of what she can do and that she is doing. And people are noticing. And she's getting herself back, which is so exciting. She's thrilled to death at all the changes and all of the results that she's getting. And that just lights up my heart because I am so grateful that my pain has become my purpose and my passion. And now it's my promise to you that if you want the weight loss, if you want permanent weight loss, if you want to age beautifully and get your body back, I'll help you do it. But yes, it's an investment in you, an investment in your health, but it's the best investment that you're ever going to make because you're worth it. And weight loss is often an investment in our health and figuring out what it is that we need to do. I invest in myself all the time with mentorships, with programs that are building my program, with things that are building me in my life so I can live and thrive into my 90s and my hundreds because I have a body that's functioning and I'll be standing upright. And I want to take you with me into this vision, to this future. And you can do it too. But yes, you have to do the work. You have to do the low carb diet. No, it's not about being restrictive. A lot of people think low carb is restrictive or the keto diet is too restrictive. And you're going to get feedback. People are going to say it's dangerous, it's scary, you can't eat that fat, it's going to hurt you. Eat bacon, lose weight. Eat the fat and the beef and the eggs, and you will have your best health. And in one studies of people who are doing this, those are the results you want to look at. If I'm thriving and healthy and beat diabetes, you can too. If my brother can eat eggs, bacon, fat, and beef and lose his diabetes, you can lose yours too. You just have to change it. And you don't have to make it restrictive. This is how you start. You follow the food bridge process into low carb nutrition. You get your carbs under 100. When you get your carbs under 100 and you reduce your ultra processed foods, take out the sugar and the grains, you're going to thrive. You're going to be feeling better than you've ever felt before. If you need to keep in a little bit of fruit because it makes you feel better, keep in a little bit of the berries, low sugar fruit. Keep in a little bit of the nuts and seeds so they make you feel good and you have a little crunch. There's a lot of things you can do. Get my ebook recipe book off my website at laurieballou.com. It's $9.99. It's on a really good discount. And it's going to inspire you and motivate you and give you the recipes that I started with that helped me lose 100 pounds. Because you don't have to give up a cookie. You can go straight to carnivore and do it that way if you really have an autoimmune problem and you really want to do that and you can't get rid of the cravings. But you can use allulose as a GLP-1 activator. It works more easily in your body than Ozempic. Ozempic's like huge bulldozer that just comes in and just like bang, stops your appetite, makes you sick and nauseous. And sure, you're going to lose your fat and body mass, but it's not permanent. You can use things like that are GLP-1 activators, like allulose, to help you reduce your cravings and help you feel better. You could use glutamine. You can use apple cider vinegar. You can use cinnamon. There's so many things. PGX is a soluble fiber from the glucomannan plant that you could use as a pudding. You could use a chia and fiber pudding. You know, a lot of this information or this pudding recipe is in my recipe book, my e-recipe book for aging beautifully for longevity, because there is no reason why you have to suffer when you're losing the weight or when you're changing your lifestyle. You can lose weight and feel great in your body and still do low carb nutrition. Low carb nutrition just means it's sugar free and it is grain free. And a lot of the times, those are the foods that are causing the inflammation and causing you to feel sick, bloated, puffy, inflamed, feeling miserable. And it's really interesting because she went on a challenge to lose weight and lost some weight, but never lost the symptoms that she lost with me working and changing her diet. And this is permanent weight loss that now she understands what she needs to do. This is the best she's ever felt. She's back to being herself and getting her cognition back. You fix your endocrine system, you fix your neurological system as you lose weight. Isn't that better than being on a drug or being in a starvation process where you have to suffer what you're eating? What if you could eat foods you love? You can make everything low carb. That is the food bridge process that's in my recipe book. Eat everything low carb, get yourself on a low carb diet, take out the ultra processed food. That's how you lose weight in menopause. We were not designed to eat ultra processed chemicals. That's what those foods are. They're all just chemicals created to taste amazing and created to give you a dopamine hit. But you could actually thrive in menopause, feel great, age beautifully, have longevity when you pull in low carb nutrition. And when you pull in low carb diet and use it as a lifestyle, create a lifestyle that addresses your diet, your rest, your sleep, your movement, your light, the light that you get in your body, sunlight, being out in nature, getting movement. When you address all of these things, you reduce your stress. When you reduce your cortisol levels, you're getting your body balanced. Your adrenals are becoming balanced. You're getting your minerals balanced when you pull in the right nutrition, when you pull in the right minerals that you need for your body, because we're going to test for that. I test for that. I hope you design that. When you run the right labs with the Holistic Low Carb Method to lose your weight, to find your weight loss blocks, then you get to put your body back together and you get to stop the problems that are happening and reverse your risk for disease. So this is a weight loss and diabetes solution. And it's so exciting that my Pain to Purpose has become something that is now my passion, that I'm helping women in menopause, helping women over 50, and I can help men too. I helped my brother. But the hard part is getting started. The hard part is the accountability and the support that you don't have, because people are going to try and sabotage you. They're going to tell you it's not safe. They don't know what I know. They have not had obesity and reversed it. If you want to reverse obesity, if you want to reverse brain dysfunction, if you want to reverse depression and lose your weight for good, the only way to do it is to dial in a low carb lifestyle, not a diet. And so when we eat protein, our body is made of protein. We need the amino acids digested, absorbed, so we can get neurotransmitters, so we can actually function and detoxify our body. And those B vitamins that we're getting from the animal meat are going to help our body function. And those neurotransmitters are going to help us have less anxiety. We're going to be able to sleep better at night. So when you lose weight with me, you fix your whole body. That is so exciting. And this is my passion, because I did it for myself and I help my clients do it. I would love to help you too. When you want to lose weight, you in menopause as a woman over 50, you want to look at your nutrition and you want to fix your body. The way you fix your body is you lower your blood sugar levels by reducing the insulin in your body. And you need to actually get control of your stress and lower your cortisol levels, because if your cortisol levels are too high, you're going to have higher insulin levels. And then your light environment. Did you know blue light at night in your eyes is an endocrine dysfunction and raises your insulin levels? Doctors have noticed that. Endocrinologists have noticed that. It's so fascinating for me as a functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner to know that we could use light in our environment to heal our body. And there's a book out on that too by John Ox, Health and Light. He no longer has arthritis because he fixed it with more light. Imagine that. And when you take wheat out of your diet, you take out the inflammation from your gut and you fix your body systemically. Because I had a client, Pia, she lost 50 pounds. She ate so much bread. It used to horrify me. She stopped eating the bread. She started eating the meat. She did everything I said. She did everything I did. I'm so grateful that my pain can actually help somebody else lose 50 pounds, get her life back, and turn off inflammation that was giving her arthritis. Now she hikes in Sweden, calls me up and says, Lori, I don't have any pain in my body. But if she eats bread or a little bit of candy, the pain comes back. Do we want to live with pain, or do we want to live our best life? So if the food is slowly poisoning you and causing you to have pain in your body, don't you just not want to eat it? What if you could follow my food bridge process, make everything low carb, take a look at my recipe book, and actually turn off the pain of inflammation, stop the weight gain, and start losing the weight? When you dial in the right diet for your body, you drop 20 pounds, you reset your metabolism, and you correct your blood sugar dysregulation, and you lower insulin resistance. You reset insulin resistance and get your leptin sensitivity back. That's another hormone. And there's another hormone called the ghrelin hormone. That's your hunger hormone. Imagine some ghrelins in your stomach making a lot of noise. Those gremlins, that's your ghrelin. That's your hunger. Wheat turns on that. Hydrates, makes you hungrier. Protein is like GLP-1 activator, like Ozempic. Natural. That's what our body was designed to do. When you eat protein, the right amount of protein for your body, you build muscle, you turn off your appetite, you feel satiated. I ate 5 eggs before my client calls today. And prior to that, I had my egg pudding, which has a special recipe that's in my recipe book. Check it out at loribaloo.com. And it had 30 grams of protein. I had that with a little bit of brie and some walnuts this morning. That was breakfast. So that was already 60 grams of protein. I'm going to cook up some ground beef, some broccoli, some onion. I don't know what I'm going to put in it yet. And I'm going to call it dinner and I'm going to eat that. But I'm going to make sure that there's the right amount of protein in there. And I think I'm going to scramble up some more eggs and kind of turn it into beef and eggs. I don't know. I don't know sure what I'm calling it, but it's going to be nutrition and it's going to build my body up. And I'm going to be able to take a digestive enzyme and absorb that protein and create the neurotransmitters that I need to help me be energized, to get out and exercise, build muscle, and sleep really good at night. When you lose weight with me, We're going to run 3 to 6 diagnostic labs. You're going to get your food sensitivity test, your Dutch test so we could check your hormones and your adrenals and your cortisol level and your detoxification process and some organic acids because we need to know that information. And I'd like to see if you've got cancer turned on because it'll show. And then we're going to run a GI map test, which is your stool test. And it's going to show your detoxification. It's going to show you how, if your pancreas is suffering, most people have pancreatic insufficiency. It's going to show your digestion, your fat digestion. That's usually elevated for most people because fat malabsorption is happening. It's going to show your inflammation. It's going to show your immune system. And it's actually going to show how much you're reacting to gluten in your body with the anti-gliadin. And there's some other items in there that we can take a look at. And it's even going to correlate with the Dutch test, the beta-glucuronidase enzyme. If that's elevated, then you're having trouble with your detoxification. When I run these labs, I get that information to help you lose weight. Those are your weight loss blocks. And I'm going to run a couple more labs too. And those ones are going to help us figure out how much inflammation and where, so that you know exactly what it is that you need to work on. When you see that in black and white, and when you see those weight loss blocks, Houston, you know you've got a problem. You can fix it. This is the roadmap back to health. This is for thriving, aging beautifully and adventurously in menopause as a woman over 50. It's so empowering. It's such good information. I love the fact that you can actually get this information, dial it all in 6 months, and know what it is that you can need to do. I could be the last practitioner that you ever have to go to, and you can run these labs once a year just to get a checkup. It's so easy to do this. Dialing in a low-carb lifestyle is going to be different than the people around you, but you can get other people on board. My brother got on board with me. My younger sister's getting on board. She's starting to see the light. The light bulbs are going off, and she's like, oh my God, if I eat this and it causes pain, I don't like that. You mean that's really correlating? Yeah, it really does. If you eat this, you get this pain. It happens. But we could turn that pain of inflammation off by what we eat. That's why low carb nutrition works. That's why we lose weight, because we lose the inflammation and absorb nutrients so our body can function again. And when you lower insulin, you actually burn your body fat. You flip the sugar switch off. You flip your fat burning switches back on. You flip your disease-causing genes off, and you get to be healthy in menopause. This is thriving. This is why I call it aging beautifully and adventurously, and why my business is called Lori Ballou Aging Adventurously, because you will, and you can. And if you want to invest in that, I'm here to help you implement that. If you want to work with me and use the labs to find your weight loss blocks, let's do it. This is my pain to purpose, and I'm so grateful that I have this opportunity to offer this to you so that you can get healthy this year for 2025 and have that dream vacation that you want to have. But you do got to invest in yourself. You got to put yourself first. You have to get into action and choose to do this. Yes, it can be hard, but it's not hard when you work with me. It's hard when you do it by yourself. My certainty and conviction is going to take you where you need to go, and I'm going to help you do that. I just had a client come on, we're having a strategy call next week, and she's like, help, I need you. And I'm like, yes, I can help you. Let's exchange energy and get this organized so that you get your life back to living, back to factory settings, I like to say, so that you can live and thrive and have your best life. I bought a ticket to the Cook Islands last August. I'm going to go in May with my yoga instructor, my yogi, and we're going to have an adventure. I'm going to have my first South Pacific island vacation, my first island vacation ever. And you know what? I've got the body that's going to feel good in a bathing suit. I don't have a bikini body. I don't know if I ever will. I used to weigh 225 pounds, but I feel beautiful in my body. I feel gorgeous. I feel good. I'm thriving. And I'm going to put on a bathing suit and get out there and get a nice tan and just have a great time. And I'm going to feel good. And that's okay because I feel beautiful. And when you lose your weight, that first 20 pounds, you're going to lose the inflammation and you're going to start understanding, oh my gosh, this is so much easier than I thought it was. You've got this. You can do this. You can lose weight with the Holistic Low Carb Method, and I will help you implement that. If you would like to lose weight in menopause, let me help you. That's my promise. We'll get you there. I'll talk to you soon.